Hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Welcome back into Gigi's Kitchen for another recipe. I'm going to be trying a recipe today that I've never tried before. So once again, you're going to be coming along with me for the ride for the first time, and we're going to make it together. And hopefully it'll turn out delicious and it'll inspire you to want to go make it. So let me tell you what we're making today. We're making a cheesy tater tot meatloaf casserole. Now that's a mouthful, isn't it? But that's what we're making. So let's jump in and get started. And before, let me go and preheat my oven. Hang on. Also, I need to give my casserole dish a little spray, non-stick spray, that's a light coating. Okay, and I'm just spraying it with some olive oil. Okay, so what we've got, and this is going to require you to get your hands in there, but like I told you, a cook's best tool are her hands. His hands, her hands. So, first of all, we're going to put our beef, ground beef, into our mixing bowl. Okay, and to this, let me get my book out so I can be sure to, it's written down in my book, but I haven't ever made it. So I said, we're going to try that today. So in our large mixing bowl, we're going to put our ground beef. I have ground up 1 sleeve. Recipe says 30 crackers. Well, you know me, I have to know specifically that I'm doing this right, so I counted 30 crackers, and it's exactly 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers, okay? So that's going in with our ground beef. And to that, we're going to add 1 pack of Lipton onion soup mix, okay? 1 packet. And then I've had my eggs sitting out at room temperature, so we're gonna do We're gonna do 2 eggs. One and 2. Okay. And then we're gonna add a 1/2 cup. Let me grab my spatula. No, I think a spoon will be easier. We're gonna do, well guys, that was a fork, let's get a spoon. Okay, we're gonna do, you make sure that I'm looking at it right, okay? We're gonna do half a cup of our barbecue sauce. Now, the recipe says Sweet Baby Ray's, and I love Sweet Baby Ray's, but I'm telling you, you use whatever you've got on hand. And then a 1/2 cup of the ketchup. And the rest is reserved, okay? Okay, and yep, 1/2 cup of the barbecue sauce and 1/2 cup of the ketchup, okay? And then you just got to get in there and mix well with your hands, okay? This is the meatloaf part of the casserole. put that into our greased casserole dish. And you press it out from corner, get this over here, corner to corner, making sure that it fills out your entire casserole dish, that it's even all the way around from side to side, because you want it to cook evenly all over. Okay? Okay, let me give my hands a wash. Okay, let's see what our next step is, guys. Okay. Okay, we've put that in there. We've added our barbecue sauce in our mixture. Okay, and then the other half that we reserved is going right on top. Half of it we mixed in, the other half is going right on the top. That's the other half cup of the barbecue sauce. Our oven is preheated. I mean, all the ingredients that go in here, what is not to love? And the other half of the ketchup mixture. Okay? So we're just gonna spread that right over the top of our meatloaf. There again, going from side to side so that everything gets covered. Okay? And I will wash my hands again. Okay. Got the meatloaf part done. Now, the next step is we are going to layer the top of this with frozen tater tots. We're going to layer them on the top of our meatloaf. One tried to escape, but he was not successful. And, you know, I thought when you're making a meatloaf too, like, you could always add veggies. You could add onions, you could add peppers, you could add whatever you like that you normally put on your meatloaf. This almost puts me in mind a little bit of a shepherd's pie, like, you know, the meat and the potatoes, and then you could add vegetables and cheese. But anyhow, it's a cheesy tater tot meatloaf casserole. And it just sounded delicious to me. And okay, we've got our tater tots arranged in a single layer on the top. And so last, all the goodies that we top it with. Okay guys, I shredded up 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of cheddar cheese. And I'm going to give that a mix because we certainly don't want to have all one flavor of cheese. So let me just give that a little stir. Okay, and combine that cheese. I could have probably bought this, you know, in a block that's got the two mixed, but I had the cheese already here at the house, so I'm like, I'm going to use what I have. Okay, now let's cover this. Just make sure. Yep. we're just gonna take this. This is a cup of mozzarella and a cup of cheddar. We're gonna cover our tater tots. Guys, it already looks delicious. I would think that the majority of my grandbabies would love this. And I got a few picky ones, but okay. Definitely don't want to leave any cheese in there. Let's make sure all those tater tots get some cheesy love. Okay. The last thing before we cover it, we're going to cover it for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, we'll take the foil off and then we'll cook it for another 40 minutes, okay? But the last thing that goes on here are real 1/4 of a cup of real, I don't wanna dump all those in one place. Look, real bacon bits. Now, I guess if I wanted to be real fancy, I could have cooked my own bacon and chopped it up, but, and you know, this would be a really quick and easy meal for a mom who's got to come home from work or her kids come in from school and she's got to feed them. This would be a great dish. Okay, guys, let's cover this. And we're gonna pop this in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Then after that 30 minutes is up, I will uncover it and I will let it continue to bake for another 40 minutes or until the meatloaf is completely cooked through and is completely done, okay? So 30 minutes covered, 40 minutes uncovered, and then I'll be back and we'll see what we've got and we'll give it a taste, okay? And see if it's just worthy enough to share with you and pass it on to you so that you can try it, okay? So I'll be back. Guys, it is out of the oven. It is piping hot. Doesn't that look so delicious? I just wanted to show it to you when it first come out of the oven, but I am gonna have to let it cool down just a bit so I can be able to taste it and sample it for you and let you know and give you my honest opinion on it. So I just wanted to show it to you, but I'll be back. I'm gonna dish up some and let it be cooling, and I'll come right back as soon as it cools and taste test it for you, okay? I'll see you in just a second. Okay, guys, we're back. I think it has cooled down enough for me to be able to give it a taste test for you and give you my opinion. Look at this. It smells really good. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to my best friend who sent me this recipe. Thank you for sending this to me. And I think it was a great idea. So I'm gonna give it a taste test and we'll see. It's still a little hot, so I'm gonna be real careful. That's delicious. Delicious. I've made like a Tater Tot Casserole before, but I've never done it with meatloaf. Meatloaf on the bottom, then the tater tots, the cheese, the bacon bits, all of it goes so well together, and that little sweet with the barbecue sauce in the middle. Oh yeah. And you know, I imagine if you don't like beef, or you prefer chicken or turkey, ground turkey or ground chicken, that would be delicious in here. I would say make sure you really, really flavor the meat. I would probably, of course, you've got your seasoning from your Lipton onion soup mix. So that would probably, flavor it, but you may want to do extra flavor because, sometimes chicken or turkey doesn't have the flavor that beef does. So you might want to just give it a little extra onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, something. But y'all, I kid you not. Ooh. You need to make this. Of course, I think I say that about every recipe, but I guess I know the day's coming where I'm going to have a recipe flop, but I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, because what I like, you may not like, and vice versa, but if I make something and I think that it tastes really good, and listen, that's how we learn to cook. We get in the kitchen and we experiment and we try new recipes and we make up recipes, and that's just the thing about food, is it's so versatile and you can do so many different things with it. I mean, the ideas are endless. So y'all get the stuff, y'all get the ingredients and make this. Truthfully, once again, I had everything on hand. I didn't even have to go to the store. I had a bag of tater tots I keep stuff like that on hand. I mean, when you got a slew of grandkids, they like French fries, tater tots, and stuff like that. So I keep stuff like that on hand, and I had ground beef. And once I made up my mind that I wanted to make this after my best friend sent it to me, I said, well, let me go in my kitchen and check and see if I've got all the ingredients. I had every single ingredient to make this, down to the Lipton onion soup packet. Now, I was borderline having enough barbecue sauce to make a cup. But I did, because you know what I did? I added a little bit of water. Barbecue sauce was kind of thick, so I added just a little bit of water. Shook it up so I could get every bit of that barbecue out of there, that barbecue sauce. And I had everything right here in my kitchen to make this. So they don't always work out like that, but today it did. I know my husband will be a happy man when he comes in and has this for supper. So anyhow, thank y'all so much for joining me again for another recipe. And might I add, another great recipe. I appreciate you being here with me. It means a great deal, and I hope that I'm putting out some recipes that you want to try. I hope I'm encouraging you and inspiring you to get in the kitchen and just to try new things. I'm inspiring myself to try different dishes, because sometimes we fall into that rut and we cook the same thing over and over and over. And so I'm challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone and to try some new recipes. And I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun doing it. Thank you guys. And listen, I want to wish y'all a great weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you get some much needed rest. Get out and do something. I hope to go catch a few flea markets. I don't know what we'll do. I never know what we'll do. But I will close this video out by encouraging you to find somebody to go show some love to this weekend. If you know somebody who's sick and shut in, had surgery, had a baby, may just need an encouraging word, show up, bake a cake, cookies, go show up at their doorstep or send them a text. Do something to encourage somebody this weekend. And you know what I hope that if you're discouraged, I hope that somebody will show up for you. Because sometimes we can always encourage people And that's a blessing to be able to do that. But sometimes we find ourselves in places where we need encouragement and we need uplifting. I know that I have, and you know, it seems like God always sends the right person to encourage me or to uplift me. And so I hope if you stand in need of encouragement, that somebody will show up for you. And until the next time, I'm going to close out this video and tell you that I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you back real soon with another great recipe. Bye, guys.